Welcome, guys, to a new episode of Dummy Football Podcast. I'm joined here by Pedro and Jordan. Pedro, how are you doing today?
Good. Excited finally to
Jordan?
talk about what is going on. I
Okay.
wasn't not talking. Took a dramatic pause.
Jordan, how are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, it's exciting that the knockout rounds are starting.
Yeah, what's it called?
Well, at least we have the knockout. Who's gonna be in the knockouts?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
like the first four
we
teams.
have 2 more days of group stage matches, and then the knockout phases begins. So yeah, getting excited for that. So yeah, today we'll be just going over the 2 game days that happen, evaluating what comes up for the U.S. next and the Netherlands teams that qualified, talking over Mexico's performance of the World Cup, and much more. So let's get right into it, guys. Shall we? Group A was played 2 days ago with Ecuador, Netherlands and Senegal coming out of the group stage. Um, I don't know if you guys were able to watch the Ecuador Senegal game, but um, it was a really even game. Um, Ecuador seemed like at the end they should have deserved to be in that spot, but obviously didn't do enough to earn their spot in the World Cup. Netherlands with a comfortable 2-0 win, group leaders. Um, there was not much trouble from this group except from Ecuador maybe that could harm their ways to the out of this group. Um, what do you guys think about those the games that we've seen from those 4 teams?
It was 2-0 or it was 1-1.
Yeah,
The Netherlands.
Netherlands won 2-0 against Qatar, and Senegal won 2-1 against Ecuador.
Yeah, but that wasn't the last game, right?
Yeah, that was the last game.
Wait, hold on. I don't remember.
Jordan, I'll
I just,
go to you.
it was yeah, because it was
Who?
what was it Cody Gappo and then Frankie De Jong that game?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I remember now.
Well, we expected them to come out of the group. Senegal and Netherlands, they did their jobs. Ecuador, like you said, they did give them some trouble, and probably should have been the one that make it out. But their defense kind of lacked in some places. Hincap, Hincapi, the youngster, he did really shine in this World Cup. But you always knew Netherlands and Senegal were going to get out, even if they didn't have Mane. But just a good group overall. Sad to see Qatar leave, like you say. But
And Ecuador.
what can I say?
yeah,
Well, yeah, also them, but they put up a good fight. That you people will remember them from this World Cup, especially Ener Valencia.
Uh,
yeah.
Ener Valencia's swan song, probably. How old is Ener Valencia?
33.
29? 33? Ooh, I'm making that COVID really made a number on every. Yeah, so this was his farewell. Hopefully, they learned a lot from him, the youngsters, like you
Yeah,
said, in Capier.
yeah,
Uh, that'll be exciting to what they can bring next World Cup if they make it.
right. Yeah, yeah. It was kind of funny because even though they lost, a lot of their supporters were still supporting them and singing them. And I mean, I think overall, I think they get a great showing of what their country could do and this team can do in their nation. A good showing for the CONMEBOL as well of what these teams. Not the Argentinas and the Brazils of those groups of the country could do for what the thing. And yeah, Netherlands was just very easy for them. Senegal, a strong showing. A lot of people, including myself, doubted them without Sadio Mane. Without that centerpiece, without that star player of what they were able to do. But they showed that they were able to will go on against and come out of the group. And Qatar just a very poor showing. Um, it would have been nice for them to at least get a win. Maybe Netherlands would have rested some of their stars, and Qatar could get a draw or a good showing for them. But disappointing for the team overall.
Yeah, well, I think Netherlands didn't want to jeopardize them being group leaders, so
Yeah,
they were going all out. So they didn't want to, face a tougher rival, quote unquote, because they are the group leaders and the other ones.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. All right. And next to Group B, USA Iran. USA got their 1-0 win, which puts them next to the group stages, out of the group stages, and England with a comfortable 3-0 solidified their position as group leaders. Um, it was kind of by the end it was kind of a nerve stopping game with the USA. I feel like they should have been able to get that second goal to kind of calm the nerves, but they held it tight. There was a lot of a lot of mistakes in that final third where that that final pass, the final decision of what to do with the ball. They were just not able to find that right answer for that. Um,
and I think also the thing that made it that way is Pulisic injury after that goal. I feel like he's their main threat, regardless of how you have up front. Still, Pulisic is the most important player in this team, and it showed when they just couldn't, like you said, finish that off. Because if Pulisic was there, he could make that pass for a Tim Weah or Josh Sargent. Like he's their guy. So hopefully he's back, but he might have to work around. If he is not, then who can provide that for them?
yeah, yeah. It was really funny that you say that. It was really frustrating because in the first half, I know Pulisic had a couple of chances where he was just running against the defense, but he just there was one where it was just him and just Sargent, and he just kept the ball onto himself a little too late. He gave it a heavy touch, and then he kind of lost the ball. Where I was thinking, he should have put in that pass a little bit earlier for Josh Sargent to go 1-on-1 against the goalkeeper. But yeah,
Yeah,
overall,
that forward mentality that he has. I think I don't know if he will try it, but I would like to see Pulisic up front and then have Timmy Weah on the right and then Brendan Anderson on the left to
yep,
see how that would work out. Just see, because I think that would get the U.S. more goals. Because it's right now they're keeping a clean sheet, but they're facing Netherlands and have to make more if you want to get through. And I think they're beatable. But what I see by Netherlands,
hmm
they just I don't know if the U.S. will be up to it, but that would be exciting.
right, right, yeah, um,
And still no Gio Reyna again.
yeah,
But he
that's
did put Cameron Carter Vickers, and I, I mean he looked really good.
yeah,
I would pick him over Zimmerman. I think now it's Carmen until the end of the tournament for him. I think.
Yeah. I was when you were saying about the Pulisic missing the chances, there was one play where Tyler Adams took the ball and he plays a perfect 1-2 with Yunus Musa and he pulls the through ball perfectly into space for Sargent. And Sargent has the choice to go to Weah or Pulisic, and Pulisic is straight open, but he passes it to Weah because he had the goal during that match. He was a goal scorer, and he passes to him. Sargent moves out, and Weah cuts in, and Weah still has an option to pass, but Weah takes the shot and to the defender. But there's like situations there where you're like, Pulisic is open, you gotta give it to him. He's gonna be leading us, and that's what we always say. That's what the U.S. is missing is the number 9. I heard Tony Moyola, legendary goalkeeper on the Pat McAfee show, say that that's the thing that the U.S. is missing is a number 9, and we don't have that. Haji Wright came in, Sargent came in, who I thought played a pretty good game. Didn't score, but he did hold onto the ball, wait for people to come in. So we have to figure that out if we want to score on Netherlands because they are playing with 5 defenders. You could sneak a goal in because they are kind of sloppy at times. But it's going to be a fun match. And I just wanted to say, on Group A, we all had Senegal and Netherlands coming out of it, right?
no. I had Ecuador. I had Ecuador actually coming up.
Because you changed it, right? Didn't you change it
No, actually, I think in my
from your beginning
preview, I
one?
had Netherlands and Qatar getting out.
Oh, so you sucked 2 times.
I picked Senegal and Netherlands. I thought Senegal would have been up, but I
Yeah.
just wanted to make
Yeah,
sure we
me
got
too.
our picks.
Sadio Mane, I thought the Sadio Mane thing that was crucial to them. And the Netherlands
Yeah,
they impressed me so far.
Yeah.
That's why I had them at my dark horse. They could either fail or they could impress, and they've been impressive for what they have. And I think
yeah. And when we were talking about the England game against Wales, we all thought Wales was going to give them a battle, but it's not the same Wales as before. England did what they had to do. They actually showed up for a game. I think this has been their best game.
Yeah.
They kept a clean sheet at 3 goals, and now let's see who they face.
But I was gonna say with the Netherlands, they changed their midfield. I feel like this makes it easier for Frankie, and having who is it, Klaassen in there.
Yeah.
So that way he has a faster connection to the forward line because he didn't have that before, and it took Netherlands a long time to actually go bypass those lines.
Yeah.
But now having Klaassen there, I think this will be like the lineup that the U.S. might face, and this is a better lineup. And having Depay as well up front, so he could switch up with Cody Gakpo, and Cody Gakpo will. I mean, the defense is going to be crucial for that game against the U.S. So
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're getting ourselves a little ahead. We were gonna talk about that, but all right. Like, we're talking about the Group B here. Let's go talk about Iran because I want to talk about Iran and Iran. My bad. That's the actual pronunciation. You know, Tyler Adams had a question. I'll talk about Iran, and yeah, that I think they showed a really solid performance. I think they they might be they may feel that they should have earned at least a point against the USA. How I said at the end of the second half, it was mostly just the USA trying to catch them on a counterattack and the Iran controlling the possession and trying to get that goal. Um, but they weren't able to do it. I still feel that they did a good performance overall. Of I mean, they didn't do as bad as well in this group, and that says a lot from with the quality of names they have. You know.
Yeah, they were ranked 20th in FIFA before the tournament, too.
Yeah.
So it was a solid team. It just the results didn't go their way.
Yeah, and they have some very good attacking options in there with Iran, but they weren't able to get that one goal. Going into
Yeah, they have Taremi, who looks like Oscar Isaac. Do you guys notice that? I kept on thinking it was Oscar Isaac. I was like, that looks like him. They should make a biopic with him.
I don't know why they would do a biopic of Taremi.
or Iran. What is it? Iran legend. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, and going on to the Wales and England, yeah, just a very comfortable win for England. Wales at no point showed any threat going into this English
And you know
side.
what? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
And yeah, I think this is Gareth Bale's last World Cup with Wales. I don't know if they'll be able to replicate it. Um, they have some young stars coming up, but I don't know if they're able to live up to the Gareth Bale, kind of level of a player, And I feel like this is gonna be Wales' last World Cup in a while until they get another goal generation that like they had. Um, England 3-0, 3-0 up. I think Rashford scored a free kick as well. So I feel like he should be the starting striker before
I agree.
with Harry Kane. Harry Kane hasn't
No,
shown.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
I would take out Harry Kane. That would be my.
Yeah, that's what I said before Harry Kane. Like he should be given the nod.
Oh,
Yeah, not alongside.
yeah.
Yeah.
Besides, yeah.
No. I think Rashford has proven that he's the striker for this national team, and another clean sheet for England. So that's what really good. And how we talked about it this last time that maybe this is the same thing where the Euros were. They're just very good defensively, but we'll see. They haven't shown up to a team
Well,
that's very attacking threat that has very
Exactly.
and we'll see once
Because
they
the
get it.
U.S. kind of like they were tired by the second half. So
Yeah.
like I think if they had another game plan, the U.S. might have gotten a win over England.
Yeah.
If they kept playing that way, and I think England saw that, so they kind of changed it a little bit. You could see it with that, like you said, that Wales game.
Mhm.
There was a better Wales having Foden in there as well.
Yeah.
That was also very good of them.
Yeah, Jordan. What do you feel about this Wales team in this World Cup?
You feel like the 2016 Euros, this isn't the same team. There are youngsters in there that are growing, so I don't think they'll be out of the World Cup. I think they'll still compete in the World Cup because they do have a lot of youngsters. Ampadu, Harry Wilson, Ramsey is still pretty young. He could be like the older center mid there. But like you say, Gareth Bale is definitely going to be his World Cup because he has other interests. But I feel like this team is still going to compete for the World Cup spots. But they're not going to be at the same level as they were in that 2016 World Cup.
Yeah.
Euro, I mean.
Yeah.
Another thing, I think the big downfall of as well as Wales is not using Bale as an option off the bench, because that's been his role at LAFC, just coming off the bench and then giving you those goals that you kind of need. I feel like playing a whole game is, or mostly the whole game. I don't know if he played the full game.
Yeah.
That kind of like, I don't think he's fit enough for that.
Yeah.
So if they would have had that, it might have been a different story. But that's a what if. We don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Going on to the games that were played today for Group D and Group C, Tunisia, France, and Australia, Denmark. Man, that Tunisia side fought and crawled, and they did everything they had to do to earn that win. It was kind of disappointing at the end that they weren't able to go on to the group stage. Australia surprising everybody and beating this Denmark side, getting that 1-0 to advance to the next round. But man, that was a hard fought game. I mean, I'm not a Tunisian fan, and at the end, I was kind of disappointed when France scored, and obviously it was disallowed, and the way that they celebrated it, it was you would have thought that they had gone to the next round, but obviously disappointed by the result. But and this is a France side that it was a rotated France side. Mbappe, Griezmann, Dembele came off the bench for this one. So it was a very different side. But I mean, give it up to Tunisia for um, getting getting France their first loss at the World Cup. Um, what do you guys think about this game? Jordan, I'll go with you first.
You love Tunisia. You love an underdog. I think we all love the underdog at the end of the day. And when you see France, even with their squad rotation, you're like, Tunisia, please give us something.
Yeah.
And they performed for their team. The same, like you said, Ecuador, they are out, but they did perform once. And that's a big deal for these smaller nations, footballing nations. And I think we leave this World Cup thinking Tunisia has some pieces there. And there's some interesting center backs. So maybe transfers coming up for them, maybe better equipment for them to work out, maybe more people join Tunisia, more players born in Tunisia but use other countries as their that country they represent. More people maybe like go and represent Tunisia.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an exciting game. France, you hate to see them lose because you're supposed to win every game, but it was a rotating, so you give them the benefit of the doubt. And Denmark, you just expect more from the quality of players that they have too. Especially because Australia barely made it to a World Cup. It's kind of a Cinderella story going on with Australia.
Yeah.
So whoever goes against them in the next stages, they better watch out because they might surprise some people.
Yeah, they definitely will. Junior, your thoughts on the game?
It was very smart of France, I think. Despite the loss, but they could afford losing because they won the other two games. So that was like, that's why you want to win your game as soon as possible and not wait until like, oh, what happens if this guy or this guy, as we will talk about the next group.
Well, it was really interesting, because when you said that, because um, Didier Deschamps throughout the, at the in the dugout, you would have thought that they needed to win this game to get through the way he was reacting to the game, but
Oh yeah, he's a competitive guy. He's an ex footballer,
yeah,
a center back no less, I think.
yeah,
So you know how tenacious center backs are.
yeah. They would have. I mean, he would have loved to win. or even get a draw at this point when Griezmann scored. You know,
Yeah,
it was a
yeah,
very
nobody wants to get
it was
lost,
a
but I'm
loss.
saying like they could afford themselves to have a mishap if you win your two games and, like you said, rotate some players,
Yeah,
get some fresh legs, get them some minutes going, so that when you actually, so if you were to need them a full game, they're able to, or if you see somebody's playing better, then you give those players a chance to be on the starting 11.
yeah, and
And
Man Mandana started in goal in this game, and he just did not look like the himself at the old. He there was a couple of chances where they were straight at him and he just kind of like fumbled it for a bit before getting secured and
well,
Mandanda.
yeah.
yeah, also, I mean,
Well, yeah, he plays for Marseille. He's not. He's no Olympic line goalkeeper.
but I mean, it's not to say like Lloris is also a world beater as well. He's past
No,
his prime as well.
now
So
But they've always
that's
and
the
been
big
there.
now
worry.
They've been the both. They've been the both
Yeah.
goalies going, and Lloris always. Now
now
we see why Lloris is always going in front.
well that's the debate. Would if Mike Magnan was healthy, do you think he would have started over Lloris?
Yeah.
You think he
I
would?
don't think so,
I would have picked him. Would he have started? Maybe, yeah. That's if you go into
because
would he have
Lloris
started?
is like he's like a captain to them.
Yeah,
He's like an official
one of the-
captain, and
one of
I
your
think either the
guys.
champs trust him there.
He's a world champion.
Yeah,
No less.
yeah. I mean, for
But yeah, like if you
I
said
say
form wise, Mike Mignon, no doubt.
yeah, Mike Magnan would have been my starter as well. Um, even though Lloris was the world champ, I just feel like a lot of nations just like well, that's what I think. One of the big reasons why Germany was eliminated so early in the 2018 was because Joachim Löw kept his trust on these players. You know that won him in 2014, but you need to evolve at this time. You know you can't. You need to bring in like one of the biggest things was like he didn't bring up Leroy Sané to that 2018 World Cup when Leroy Sané was having his best season when with City. You know, and to not be called up, it was like
And
know.
that's why he left. That's why he left England.
yeah.
So Jordan, he's like, oh, where are they calling all the players? Oh, for Bayern Munich. Let me go there.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that's one of the biggest reasons why he left, you know. And then and also there was a lot of things with the Pep, but we won't get into that today. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Finish it off. Just saying, Australia, what a win.
yeah,
They showed, and then Denmark dropped the ball.
yeah. I had them as my dark horses. You know, I thought they would have been able to get a result in this game, but
Yeah.
they
Another back called by Carlin.
yeah they they just were not themselves this tournament. I don't know.
Yeah, I
what it
picked
was.
Denmark too, dude.
Yeah, I picked them too.
Yeah,
But out of
they,
my
The bad
dark
call.
horse,
yeah, they were not able to really give a good showing for the nation. Australia, you know, Jordan said it. It was a Cinderella story. You know, barely scraping into the World Cup, onto the round of 16th, and hopefully they'll be able to continue their Cinderella story. But it's gonna be tough considering who they're facing next. But
Oh,
we won't
Don't
get into
spoil
it.
it.
Don't
We'll-
spoilers.
we'll
No
get it.
spoilers. We'll talk about it. All right, and then the evening games, Poland and Argentina, and then Saudi Arabia and Mexico. Mexico eliminated, even though they won the game. Goal difference. um, yeah, Poland Argentina. For the first half, it was very even. Messi missing that penalty saved by Chesney. Um, there was a couple of chances back and forth, and then in the
well,
second,
my girlfriend said it's Chesney, so
it's what
I've been Chesney, not
Chesney
Chesney. Yeah,
Chesney.
oh, Junior, you have a girlfriend. I didn't know that.
You have a Polish girlfriend? You have a Polish girlfriend?
No way.
A lot of languages.
But yeah, it was and then in the second half, Argentina just kind of, you know, do what Argentina does and just comfortably got the 2-0 win.
hmm
They were going out for the 3-0. You know, I think it was Jordan that you had said that it looked like Messi was trying to do Mexico a favor to get them into the
Yeah.
next round. But
And it seemed like he was trying to get them a favor after what Canelo said. He's like, let me get him on my side. And if you don't know what Canelo said, Canelo basically said he's a Mexican boxer. He basically said he was going to beat up Messi for
Whenever he saw
stepping
him.
on his shirt
Yeah.
in the video, but you could clearly tell he was just moving the shirt for a little bit.
Yeah, Andres Guardado came out and said that Canelo doesn't know what he's talking about or what happens in the locker room, and then Canelo already issued an apology that he didn't
Yeah.
know much better, and that that he's sorry for the Argentina fans and Messi. But yeah, Argentina just showing that what they're capable of, very good defensively, and that when it needs to bring up those goals, that they can get it done. A very good showing. Still my contender to win the World Cup, the whole tournament. Um, and then Mexico against Saudi Arabia. It was a nervy kind of first half for Mexico. Then finding that goal, and that kind of eased it, so we can they get the second one. But at the end, Saudi Arabia scored, which was the was the
Nailed in the
determining
coffin.
the determining factor in not getting through. Um, but overall, it was just a poor performance for Mexico in this World Cup. I think Hercules Gomez came out and said, or it might have been Sebastian Salazar came out and said it one of the worst showing for Mexico in the modern era. But let's talk about the Poland Argentina game first. Jordan, what you saw about this game?
At the first start of the game, Argentina was trying to challenge Poland through the middle. They were like, "We'll go through the middle with Messi." Messi missed a couple. They couldn't get some chances. They didn't miss because they didn't really shoot. But they were trying to go through the middle with him and Julian Alvarez combining touches with McAllister. And then they started going through the sides, trying to maybe we could attack to the sides. And it ended up working on a couple occasions, getting shots in. And the penalty, which I don't think it should have been a penalty because Messi clearly it touches his head and goes out. And before the ball goes out, Chesney grazes him with his finger, and they called the foul. And I don't think that should have been a foul. And I think that's why Chesney blocked it, because ball don't lie, like Baron Davis once said. And I was like, that's Messi misses his chance there. That's it. Messi, when he misses a penalty, usually gets out of the game. And then they started attacking again, started to attack to the wings. The goal, a fantastic cross from Molina to McAllister. McAllister, a little fine touch, not too powerful, goes into the corner. And you're thinking, that if Messi was there, that's Messi's position usually. But at this center attacking midfielder from England, he's actually an English guy, scores that goal, an amazing first goal to score at a World Cup. And then the second goal from Julian Alvarez, just powering it through the Polish goalkeeper's hand. But after that second goal, I think Poland were like, wait a minute, we gotta do something. And they started making changes to the defense. And at times you could see that they were switching to 6. They had 6 people at the back. And just holding that. And then at occasions when they would start to break, the two in between the right back and the left back, they would sprint out and try to help with the counterattacking, which didn't really happen that much. Lewandowski had a cross came into him, but he couldn't connect to it. It was just a very defensive performance from Poland, forced by Argentina. And I think Enzo Fernandez had an amazing game, another amazing game. Cristian Romero played great. Molina, like I said, played great. Emiliano Martinez didn't really get challenged, but I think if he did, he would have taken care of them with ease. But the Polish, they get through the Polish side. They played very good defensively, but you could see that they have the attacking space. But it's when you dominate them in possession, I think that's the way to beat this team, is dominating them in possession, just passing throughout to get that open space, because they were struggling. And they did the same play for the Mexico goal, where they passed it from wide and into where the center defensive mid should be, to Messi. And it almost worked, but Messi just couldn't find a space to shoot, and he ran it out, and then he took a tight angle shot to Chesney. But I think they need to work on that center defensive side, even though they do have Bielik and Craig Kiyorikik or whatever, the number 10, center defensive mid.
Kovac.
Kovac is his name?
Kovac, yeah.
That guy was playing very well.
I don't think that's how you say it, but...
Well, that's how Kiyorikik for sure. But that was a very exciting game. Very tense for the Polish fans because they could tell the third goal was coming. Poland held out, and they get through. So good to see two teams go through, especially when they have good players like Messi and Lewandowski.
Yeah, Pedro, anything to add to that game?
Yeah, my girlfriend is Polish, so she watched that game. No, just saying. Yeah, as soon as they knew that, I think they were holding out for a tie, but as soon as Argentina made their two and then they found out Mexico was winning, I think they were like, let's get a clean sheet. That's no more goals and nobody foul anybody because that's also a tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they were just playing their game, what they had to do, and they did it perfectly. Well, not perfectly, but they got it.
Right. Yeah, and Mexico, obviously, Tata Martino basically indicating that this was the last game in charge of Mexico.
Yeah, we've been you.
You guys have any opinions of who should be the next Mexico manager? I know they were saying that Jaime Lozano could probably come in and do work. He's been doing a really good job. Very young still in his managerial career. They were saying about Tuca Ferretti coming in. They were even saying Miguel Herrera for another time in charge of this Mexico side. But just wanted to get your takes on who do you guys would pick.
Yeah, I would say Miguel Herrera, give him a full 4 years to get this side. Even though he's very controversial, that's what got him off. But I think the way he plays is he got Mexico to play one of the best footballs.
Yeah.
And if he had more time, like the ad that you need, I think he'll break. He was for sure playing Santi. I think he mentioned it, and also during the game, he was making great analysis. I was watching it, and I was like, yeah, he's right on everything he was saying.
Watching it where?
Huh?
What coverage?
The Spanish coverage.
On Telemundo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why was that important at all?
Just so I know where he was watching it.
But yeah, he was the same thing we were talking about. Why have Andres Guardado and Herrera, two older players? Why not have Edson Alvarez when he's arguably one of the most consistent Mexico players?
Yeah.
When having Guti Gutierrez in there, Chavez also great display by Chavez. I never rated. I don't know. I never seen this player play, but what he showed for Mexico, this guy is going to Europe for sure. The way he played,
yeah,
how much confidence he had, and that's what disappointed me in the Mexico game. That Chucky was insistent of him having his goal. I'm like, dude, just let this guy have another go at a free kick. What are you doing? He already made one.
Mm-hmm.
I was disappointed in Chucky. I think that's a big factor of why Mexico might have not made it through. How selfish he was with that.
Yeah. Jordan, your pick for the next Mexico team manager?
I don't really have a pick in the Mexican director, but I think it needs to be someone that has experience in the Mexican league, because I think that's when the best managers come from. It's someone who knows the leagues in and out, knows how the youth system works there, so they could scout players through there. And I think that's very important for Mexico. At Junior's point of Piojo Herrera, they were just from a penalty away from beating Holland, Netherlands. If that penalty doesn't go through, that's a complete different game. So you have to think about those certain things. And I think Mexico has a lot of options for coaches. Like you said, there's Jaime Lozano, a young player who got a medal in the Olympics last year's. And there's legendary coaches from Mexico, Tuca Ferretti. Some people were saying Profe Osorio, even though I think he doesn't want to do that anymore. But just it's very sad to see Mexico, a nation that has great fans, get out of there.
Yeah.
A nation that you expect more, especially because they were the team that always kept the USA and Canada and places in the North America down. They were the top dogs, and now you're seeing a slight decline as the USA is going up, and you're wondering, is that a federation thing? Is it the players? Is it the coach? So it's very tough for the average Mexican American fan, the one from born in between the borders. But you just hope that this is a wake up call. It's not late. You have young players like Edson Alvarez Jr. said. Luis Chavez is a great player. He wasn't close to making the team. I don't know if people know this, but he played the last couple of friendlies and won Tata Martino over. And to see him score in the World Cup, it's a really big deal.
Especially
But
the way he did it with that free kick goal.
yeah, it's gonna be an iconic goal because Mexico goals you always remember. But it just sucks. I have nothing else to say. Saudi Arabia got a last minute goal from a counterattack. He brushes in through the middle. Hector Moreno has to turn around, doesn't really run at it, and it just leaves Ochoa by himself. And you think, you could tell this team was defeated as soon as they were 2-0 up. They didn't seem like they were going to get the 3 goals. They seemed like, oh, that's it.
That was another bad call by him having Moreno and not having a pairing of what's that guy from? What's that guy? The tall guy? What's his name?
Cesar Montes.
Cesar Montes, and then having Cesar Montes and Nestor Araujo as your pairing.
I think the bad decisions of I think if you write down what went wrong,
it's a lot.
It all counts to managerial overtakes the players' decisions. Because like you said, Chucky Lozano, maybe he lets Luis Chavez take that. We score. But at the end of the day, who put them 5 with 5 defenders against Argentina trying to get a draw? What kind of coach thinks, oh, let me put 5?
No, but we're talking about this game right now, you know what I mean? So,
that's a decision that affects this, so, you know.
Yeah. But
at the end of the day, Tata Martino leaves, so hopefully a new beginning for Mexico.
Yeah.
But there was never a doubt in my mind that Mexico was not going to get a goal. I never felt like they could not get a goal. It's just that how could they not get another? They were so close. Yeah. And I feel like that as soon as that Saudi Arabia goal, it was like that was done.
Yeah.
It was a done game right there.
Yeah,
and that goal came in the 94th minute too. You still had 3 more minutes, and they didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, that was it. I felt like they could have got it even sooner than when that goal obviously happened. But as soon as that happened, that's when they just completely gave up. That was it.
Yeah, and hopefully this is a new beginning for the Mexico national team. You know, we've seen it. You know, as U.S. and Mexico fans, we've seen the decline of Mexico in the CONCACAF. You know, where the USA, you know, has been getting the best of Mexico for a while now, and now even the league is even saying that the MLS is getting better than the Liga MX. But you know, whoever the manager is, hopefully
they have no passion, they have no rhythm.
Well, the fact that Almada, a youngster from Argentina, is in MLS and instead of Mexico, where you usually that's where you will find somebody younger players that go to Mexico. Yeah. Now that they actually go into the MLS, that's a big hit for Liga MX.
Yeah, yeah, and just I said we've been talking about just some of the player selections. You know,
we always said it's Santi Jimenez.
If it's the FA picking the players or the manager actually picking the players, you know, but hopefully whoever the new manager is, they give them the ability to say, hey, I want to bring these players, you know, and this is how we're gonna play, and hopefully the FA backs them and can turn this Mexico side around. You know, they have 4 years to work on how they wanna set up this team and how they want to build it up. You have I think both of you guys mentioned it, that you have players that you can build around this team. You know, you have Edson Alvarez, you have Cesar Montes, you have Kevin Alvarez, which against the game that Argentina really surprised me and really outstanding. You know, you have Carlos Acevedo that's at home, and he's been having one of the best seasons, and and been one of the best goalkeepers in La Liga MX, you know, um, so far. And you have the blocks there to really build
And you
a
still
good
have
a good,
Chucky, your star man.
and you still have Chuki, and so you have really promising players, and yeah, and hopefully they're given the the chance to build. All right, so let's talk about real quick about the games that are going to be happening tomorrow. Um, we'll just go a quick analysis of what's your prediction and what's the score going to be like for who wins and the score prediction for these games real quick. So the morning games is going to be Croatia and Belgium and Canada Morocco. I'll go with Junior. You first for your predictions for these games.
Uh, Belgium, the disappointment. Croatia just routes them and goes through as group leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Yeah. And then I think Canada will show up this time and then go in a farewell. Like they have to.
Yeah.
That because it would be disappointing being group leaders in the Concacaf and being so dominant, and then not showing up in the World Cup, even though they played really good football. Still,
Yeah.
you still have to win. It doesn't matter if like back in the day, like if you have possession and you still 0-0, like what does that do to me? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you gotta win.
it kind of reminds me of when Xavi would have like 70 possession but still
Yeah.
lose. Kind of weird,
Yeah,
huh?
like,
It's like
without
what the
them,
hell, dude?
it's different.
Yeah, it's like we have all the possession, we have the ball shot. It's like you lost 1-0. Frack!
Yeah. Um, Jordan, your predictions for these games?
Same as Georgia. I see Croatia beating Belgium. Maybe a close game. Maybe Belgium finally does something. Maybe they show something for the next 4 years, show some hope against Croatia. But I see instead of Canada having a good game, I think Morocco might give us another outstanding performance and show that they are here to compete as Senegal. Give the African clubs a bigger name in this World Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go for a Croatia win as well. I think Belgium might make it a little bit difficult for them, but they might rise up their level just because they're going against another European nation and might show what they want. But I just think that right now Croatia is far superior than Belgium. And yeah, I believe, you know, we've all talked about how Canada plays. Canada don't sit back and let you come at them and try to hit you with a counter. They want to be on the front foot pressing, making you try to lose the ball up high. And I just think going against this Morocco team, which we talk about Hakimi and Ziyech and Zeiss, the defender, they just have quality players in that, and that can make it difficult. So I think Morocco's going to win for that game. And so obviously it's going to be Croatia and Morocco going on to the next round for me. Um, and then the evening games, it's Japan versus Spain and Costa Rica versus Germany. Uh, Jordan, your predictions for these games?
What are the points in the group?
The points?
Is in leaders, and I think it's Japan and then Costa Rica and Germany. Correct?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know the exact
So,
points.
I think Spain has 4, right?
Spain has 4, Japan 3, as well as Costa Rica and Germany have 1 point.
Yeah, so this is a must-win game for Spain. Japan needs to try to hold off a draw, and hopefully Germany beat Costa Rica. Would be the plan if you want Japan and Spain to go through. But I see Spain try to dominate Japan in their own game, and the game Japan learned from Spain and playing a very passing, very teamwork-like football and getting past Japan. Japan is still a very fantastic team, fantastic players, but Spain is, they've been here before. Luis Enrique knows what to do in tournaments. Germany, like Judah said, Canada, maybe try to get a win, try to show something. Maybe you sneak in from instead of Japan and Costa Rica, but it's gonna be very hard to do that. But hopefully Germany win, and those are my picks: Spain and Germany to win. The European teams too.
All right, Junior, your predictions?
Well, now I want to go against it. So that's why.
We all agreed on Croatia. I was like, well, Croatia's going to lose.
Because I think it'll be. I mean, seeing Germany be out in a group stage again, that'd be pretty disappointing. But from what Japan has showed, they've shown better football than Germany. Uh, Germany is just talents here and there, like Musiala, outstanding player. That it's one of like their top players that who's actually showed up. Most of them are kind of like laid back a little bit, and I was hearing commentators say how this felt like a different Germany, like it wasn't the Germany of old, like people say the Schweinsteiger.
Yeah, their defense was very off. It's not the same defensive players. I think that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, even though they haven't conceded that many goals, but the thing is just they don't look like that Germany of old, where you did have even though their striker scored, he's not. I mean, not to criticize him, but he's not a top striker. Timo Werner being out, I think that would have been changed this whole game plan. Because I think that's what he wanted. A forward that could move around all three spaces.
Yeah.
So that would have made a difference for this Germany team. So I'll go with the tie, Spain and Japan. That's what I would like, but I feel like Spain's gonna win and Germany's gonna win.
Yeah. Germany just has Japan has a 0 for goal difference, and Germany with a -1. So they would just have to beat them at least by 2 and hope that Japan don't score any, or just hope that by Germany scored twice as much as Japan scored in that game against Costa Rica, which the Costa Rica team that got the surprise win against Japan, but against Spain. And against this Germany side, you just wonder if they'll be able to do enough to give Japan give Japan the ability to move on to the next stage. And Spain, that's so far have been playing really good football, but not really doing much with the ball. Criticized for not having that focal point of the attack, that number 9 that Morata came on, and you seen him attacking those spaces behind the defenders. So someone like that type of player. I wonder if Morata will be given the start.
Well, I'm wondering if Asensio's going to be out of the team, because I think that's the thing. Asensio hasn't been playing for Real Madrid consistently enough for him to be a starter in the Spain team. That's his mistake for one. So I feel like if Ferran Torres is there, or somebody else is there, like you said, Morata, I think this team is better than what Asensio been showing for them.
Yeah, why don't they put the real number 9? Why don't they put Gavi up there? Number 9 Gavi. That's what they're missing.
Yeah.
Well,
I think you have to go with Morata, because although you guys did draw, he did score. And when Asensio was playing, you scored 7 against Costa Rica, but let's be honest, that could just be Costa Rica not being good at defensively.
He was.
Well, Asensio was, to your point, Asensio has been playing really well for Real Madrid, but he's been coming on as a sub. And the times that he's been given a start, you just desire more from what he shows coming on and playing and he is playing as a false 9, where in Real Madrid he plays more as a winger, as an inverted winger in that role. More, and sometimes even plays as a midfielder, where he just gets the ball from midfield.
Yeah, that's where he plays better.
But
again, that midfield is Barcelona and Barcelona only. You know that. I know that.
Yeah.
That's what he likes. They play together. Luis Enrique knows how their chemistry works. So it's difficult to get rid of those 3.
Yeah.
When you said that, your camera froze. Like, shut up about Barcelona. Like, froze when you were saying that. Yours.
Oh. The best team in the world.
All right. We won't get into that conversation yet. But all right, and just we already have some.
Can we talk about Group A, G, and H?
Well, they don't play until 2 days from here.
No, but we didn't talk about their last game that they had, the second games.
Yeah, we did.
Mm-mm.
Also, we should talk about them because we'll probably record until the end of all these games. So might as well get them. Talk about them.
When we started the podcast, we went straight to A. We didn't start with G or H because those were the last games before.
G and H.
Remember, because Brazil was playing after the day we recorded. Brazil was going to play, and H was going to play.
Yeah, but we could talk about them now while we're talking about the groups, the last match.
Yeah, it's let's see.
So it was Brazil, Serbia,
Brazil, Switzerland.
Brazil, Switzerland, and Serbia, Cameroon.
No, I was going to list them. But yeah, it was that group and
No, but the
that
face-off.
group H.
I mean, match day 2, it was Cameroon, Switzerland, and then Serbia. I mean, Switzerland, Brazil, and then Serbia, Cameroon. That's how it was. The matchups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a matchup. Let me get
And
back
then
here.
Portugal, Uruguay, and then
No,
Ghana, South Korea.
Portugal, Korea Republic. Remember Son playing against his idol?
No, it was Ghana, South Korea, and then Portugal, Uruguay.
Yeah, the last match I'm talking about.
Yeah, this is
Oh.
the next matchup. This is where
Mhm.
will be Portugal, Ronaldo against Ronaldo. Where is it? Over here. Yeah. So for Group G, Cameroon and Serbia with a 3-3 draw. Cameroon leading this was the game that no, this is the game where Cameroon came from behind to draw the game against Serbia. Um, Ghana were the team that was leading 2-0, and then South Korea came drawed it up, equalized it, and then Ghana got that third goal to win the game. But yeah, Cameroon 3-3 against Serbia, and then Brazil with a 1-0 win against Switzerland.
Casemiro, golazo.
Yeah, that was a great goal by Casemiro. Brazil had a shot where Vinicius get 1-on-1, but he was offside and got it disallowed. And then Group H, South Korea 2 against Ghana 3. How I said, Ghana were leading 2-0, and then Korea equalized, and Ghana got that third goal. High scoring games from these games, and then Portugal 2-0 winners against Uruguay. You guys want to add anything to those games?
I just thought Uruguay was going to show something more in that game. That was a must-win for them. And the Ghana, that was impressive. That's what you want when you have a team that can actually come back from a disadvantage, because that's always, you'd never know what could happen. They could get early goal in, something that it's necessary for you to be a good player, that what it feels like to be losing and getting a win.
Yeah.
So that was very important morale wise.
Jordan?
I always want to expect more from Uruguay because they had an amazing 2010 World Cup. They are past World Cup champions, but I just feel like this formation isn't fitting their playing style. The players aren't the right players. I think Darwin Núñez is not the right guy. I think they have to play with another striker. Maybe Cavani should have been starting instead of him. But Portugal, obviously, you love to see Portugal win, especially because of Cristiano Ronaldo. And Human Son, you think Korea should do more, especially because they do have a stacked midfield and defensively. They have that great player from Napoli, Kim. So you're hoping that maybe they squeak out a win in the next game. Maybe they're still in it. But Switzerland is the team that I like in that group with Brazil. I think they could possibly make it out too. but it'll be interesting because they did that 3-3 draw. Is again the 3-3 draw from Cameroon and Serbia is very crazy.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll probably, well, we can go over Korea against Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and then Serbia and Switzerland and Cameroon, Brazil are going to be the games played this Friday. Real quick for Group H, your guys' predictions for those games: South Korea, Portugal, and Ghana, Uruguay. Junior, I'll go with you first.
I think Portugal need it. I feel like they don't want to risk anything, so I think they'll go for a win. Bruno Fernandes has been playing, good. I think he'll show out the same type of performance for them. And I feel like he should start Rafael Leao. I think he is in form. I think he looks better now. I think he should start alongside Ronaldo.
Yeah. And the Ghana Uruguay game.
Uruguay, I feel like Ghana's gonna win it. They're coming for revenge for it. We saw this. I don't think those. So far, what they've showed is not good enough.
Yeah.
Considering who they have, I don't know if that'll come into play with him riling them up, and that's the way they lose, because they're the masters of the dark arts.
Yeah.
Uruguay. So I feel like they might go that route. See if they could get this win, get them riled up, get some red cards from Ghana, some yellow cards, have them play, steady against them, and they can scrap out a win. But I feel Ghana and Portugal go out.
All right, Jordan.
I hate to go again with Junior on this pick, but I guess Portugal will win. Yeah, Portugal. They don't really need the win. I'm pretty sure they're secured in the group, but I think they want to get that first spot.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like that's the most important spot because it puts you in the best position. Allegedly, although we have seen people lose from being in the first spot.
Yeah, you don't want to face.
What's it called? Uruguay against Ghana. I remember watching the game. I remember people saying, "Oh, what a bad guy, Luis Suarez." Again, I'm gonna say this: he did what he did for his country. I get Ghana salty, but I think that gets in your head when you go into these games where you have a vengeance. I think it'll take them out of the game for a little bit. They might think, "Oh, we're doing it for this," and forget that they're doing it for their nation to qualify. Going for a petty revenge is not worth it. It's about getting the result. And I think Ghana have the team and the capability to get the result, especially because Uruguay has been shocking this World Cup with the caliber of players they have. And I think that they'll get a win here, Ghana. The amount of goals, that's what I don't know. It could be a 2-1, 1-0. But it'll be impressive games to watch. A lot of tension in these games.
Yeah. And then...
I think for sure, let me just add, there will be a swap between Sonaldo and Ronaldo. That's a for sure thing. You could put it in your betting thing.
That they're both going to score in this game?
What?
That they're both...
No, it means swap shirts, right? I don't see that happening. I see Heung-min Son ask him, and then Ronaldo's I already gave it. It's oh man.
No,
but I think they will be. How much he likes it. They'll be like this.
Yeah.
It would be a great moment for Heung-min Son, a lovable character.
Yeah. And then the next games are Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon, Brazil. Junior, what are your thoughts?
What'd you pick for the other games? I want to hear yours.
Yeah, we didn't. You never mentioned yours.
I didn't pick them. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you picked for the other ones. You didn't pick for this one.
I think Portugal's gonna win the South Korea game, and I think Ghana's gonna win this Uruguay meeting.
All right, so we all picked the same ones.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Serbia,
maybe one of us will switch it.
Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon, Brazil. Jordan?
Me or
you?
So it's Serbia, Switzerland, right?
Yeah.
Serbia, Switzerland, and then Cameroon, Brazil.
I want to see Switzerland win this just because they went on that fantastic run in the Euros that not that many people talk about. That they did eliminate France, which is a pretty big deal. So I think Switzerland might get through because they do have an amazing goalkeeper in Jan Sommer. They do have pieces all around where, like, you might not know the name, but you see the face and you recognize that guy's a dude. And I think Switzerland might win this. I hope Cameroon could sneak out a point against Brazil. Maybe give them the struggle. Maybe give them a punch in the face that they deserve, like a wake-up call. Because Brazil has been going by these games, especially last game, barely winning on a 1-0. I think they need that wake-up call, or else they might get eliminated in the next round. I guess who? I don't know. But those are my picks.
Junior,
I don't rate
picks?
Brazil that much.
Yeah, Switzerland. I've been impressed with Switzerland, like the same, but I feel like just I don't know them. Like Switzerland is better defensively, right? They only let how many goals?
Let me see
2.
real quick.
And Serbia is not that. So I think that's a determining factor. Who is better at
They've only let in one goal.
one goal against Brazil?
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like that's gonna come into play. So yeah, again, I hate to agree, but Switzerland and but Serbia has great attacking talent and a great midfield. But I don't know if that'll be enough to crack that Switzerland defense. And Jan Sommer. Jan Sommer is a great talent. You were gonna say something?
Yeah, I just feel like Serbia hasn't found a way to fit in all these attacking threats
Yeah.
collectively that all come together. They have they have Vlahovic, they have what's the Jovic, they have Mitrovic, and they've just been having able to like find all these guys together. Yeah, I think Switzerland wins and Brazil is gonna be able to win this. Cameroon has been a really great side to see, and a tough side, but I think Brazil have enough talent to come in through.
How's the table look? Because I think if Cameroon win, they might get in, right? Or am I wrong?
Yes, if Cameroon wins, they do get in.
So I feel like this will be a
Well,
tough game.
they would have to also beat them. You would also want Serbia to at least score 2 goals at least.
Oh.
Yeah. Cause
Yeah, but no, go ahead.
yeah, cause the Cameroon sit with 1 point, and
Oh.
well, actually, yeah. If Cameroon win against Brazil, and Serbia win against Switzerland, no matter what the score, Cameroon would be in.
So I feel like they're gonna try their best. I feel like they came into their
Oh.
But because this Brazil they haven't really gotten any challenge. I think like, they've been kind of like you said, they've been kind of cruising, and I think a big part of that is not having Neymar. Neymar is a crucial point for this Brazil team, the same as Sadio Mane was. This team is built around Neymar, and now having Neymar for these 2 games, and who knows, he'll be back if they make. Well, if they are gonna make it through, but if they're for the next game, so. Yeah, and I just don't think the attacking talent up front, other than Richarlison, that has scored, will be enough.
Yeah.
Unless they have to step it up, because what they've been showing is kind of poor, considering they're Brazil.
Yeah,
how much
you brought an interesting point of about Serbia, where you're saying that they have a lot of attacking talent, but they don't know how to play with it. I think that's an issue with some of these teams that don't do good. It's like you have the talent there, but the manager just doesn't know how to fit them all. And then you're like, oh well, let me just put them all together. It's like it doesn't work that way. You gotta find the right pieces. It can't just be the best player. It has to be the best pieces that fit in your detailed offense, and then put the best players on your bench so they come in after.
So what was Serbia's lineup? They played with 4 in the back, right?
I believe they play with
5 in the back.
Yeah, I think they play with 5 in the back. Hold
Yeah,
on.
see, it has to go. Like, I know, like this, like you see it all the time. Like when a new formation comes and then they start winning.
Yeah, everybody
Everybody's
has
like,
left wing
Yeah,
backs. Everybody has a right
they
wing
everyone like
back.
play.
every 4-3-3,
They play with a 3-4-2-1 basically.
4-2-1.
The two center forwards.
Well, no, with two attacking
Okay.
mids because they have Milinkovic, Savic, and Dusan Tadic playing up there.
You see Savage playing him as a fucking center attacking mid. He's a center mid. Like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, he should be there too. I feel like again,
He should have been defensively more.
4-5-1 with two CDMs or two CMs and then attacking up front.
Maybe next World Cup we could do what our formations would have been like
Reach
for
team.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how they would win each team. Don't listen to what the coach says.
This is how they guarantee 5 million goals every
Well,
game.
I was about to say they probably play that way because they do have Kostic, which is an excellent wing back. Filip Kostic from Juventus.
But you could play him. You could play him as.
He's a left mid, a natural left
yeah.
mid though.
I don't know why you would. Yeah.
A fantastic player, Kostic, won Europa League. Has signed a deal with Juventus, an amazing crosser.
Eliminated
If anybody
Barcelona.
plays FIFA, buy
At the
Kostic.
Camp
He's
Nou.
a pretty good crosser.
Anybody gets a win there now.
It's Spotify Camp Nou for you, Calvin.
Yeah.
All right,
So keep on having that premium subscription, my boy.
onto the round of 16 matchups that we already known. Netherlands, USA, Argentina, Australia, France, Poland, and England, Senegal. Netherlands, USA. I know Junior was talking a little bit about this matchup of how the USA would match up against the Netherlands. I mean, we can just see it from just seeing it where Netherlands gonna have the ball and USA is just gonna try to get him on the counterattack.
Which, if you've seen the US's game, like that's their weak point, which was their strong point in later generations. Now it's our weak point. We can't really go on a counter because we're always so in the ball most of the time. So that's gonna be interesting. That's why I want Gio Reyna to play. I want Cameron Carter-Vickers to be there. So they have strengths. Like people forget how strong Gio Reyna is. He looks like a little kid, but that guy's strong.
Yeah.
When he said like Jordan Morris because he's strong, and I was like, oh, because Gio Reyna isn't. He's 6'1", my guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, Netherlands, I think they found their midfield, and that's going to be dangerous for the U.S. But it's still a beatable team. That's not as good as it looks. It is just because of the showing of the other teams as well.
Yeah.
They didn't have that killer instinct, or just that little thing that could take them off. They were even Netherlands was lucky that they didn't get some points taken off of them. So I think it's a beatable Netherlands side.
Right. Yeah. Jordan, your thoughts about this matchup? How you see it going?
It's gonna be interesting. I'm struggling to think of who could win this because I could see it go either way. Netherlands play a 5 on the back, which is a tough way to play, a tough team to play against anyways, especially because they do have quality in all those positions. But Junior says the midfield's perfect. Last game was the best performance they had out of all the group stage. The strikers, Gakpo, still amazing. Depay, he came off the bench last in the second game, and then in the third game, I think he cemented his role there. And I think that was the perfect team, like you just said. And I think the USA is still trying to find that striker. I think everything is set, but the striker, they're already, okay, Weah, Pulisic, but this role. And I think If you just looked at Gio Reyna, you're like, go there. I think we could, if we play with Gio Reyna as a center forward, as a false nine, I think that could have been the spot, especially because he is 6'1", so he could get headers too. But I don't know. I could see this game going either way, honestly. Even with my heart with the USA, but I would say maybe not play Serginho Dest because his mom is from Netherlands, so there might be some conflict there. But that's about it.
But he also before the game, he had said that the reason why he went to the U.S. because they believed in him, even when he wasn't having a great time at Ajax.
Mm-hmm.
And then even though the Netherlands wanted him, they were kind of like waiting on him for that call up. They just wanted him to be like, kind of like, oh, you're sure you'll be in the, like, we're not going to call you up, but like, you're still in their contention. And the U.S. was like, we're already going to call you up. You're going to be, we want you to be part of this young team that we're building.
Yeah.
And I think that means a lot as a, as a player coming up, that somebody believes in you and having them putting their whole faith. And if they have, because he's been starting. I'm surprised that he has been starting,
and he's been really good, and he gets a lot of tag for not being defensively sound, but defensively he's been doing the work, and you just wonder if he can carry that into the AC Milan. There's that famous meme where he like grabs the ball and tries to like take it, and he gets hand caught for handball. But hopefully he can translate that form into his club career, because he did have a pretty rocky start to his Barcelona career.
or even the fact that our AC Milan took a look at him is,
Yeah.
pretty impressive. And
Well, AC Milan love Dutch players.
Yeah. They know how to play with the ball.
Yeah. But one of the names that sticks out when we talk about number 9s is P-Folk. I think he should have been in this USA team. I mean, he's been absolutely smashing it in for Union Berlin with his goals, and I think he would have been the perfect number 9, where he combines perfect athleticism and strength and mobility from a striker when you're looking at what you need from that.
But also, I don't know if I'm wrong about this, but we haven't seen Ferreira play, right?
No, he hasn't played at all. No.
I feel like give him a shot. Like, he had scored when he wasn't playing, so give him a shot, because he also
the best offense is unorthodox offense, the unexpected one, and I think this is the perfect chance for him.
Yeah, because Netherlands hasn't. I don't know if they're well versed on the U.S., but having that Ferreira that you haven't played him, Gio Reyna that you haven't played, they're like, how are they gonna play? Yeah. And having them from the beginning to start.
Yeah,
I think that
maybe this was Berhalter's plan all along. He's like, I'm gonna play Gio Reyna against Netherlands or whoever we go against. He's not gonna play in the group stage. Show him a new look.
All right. So predictions for who wins the game?
I'm going with the U.S. I want the U.S. to win, so I'm going. Even though Netherlands is my dark horse, I think the Netherlands' biggest strong point is Gakpo. So if Gakpo has a great game, forget about it. The U.S. will be out, and the same for the U.S. If Pulisic has a great game, then that's how I think those are deciding factors. And they're 9. Who their front 3 is going to be faced against Netherlands. That's going to be the big factor. But I want the U.S. to win.
Jordan.
When I look at my heart, it says USA. But when I think about it, and I think about it more and more and more, you start going, oh, what if this happens? What if this happens? You start grabbing at straws. And I think I'm going to stick with the USA, because I do feel that this is the best team we've ever had. And people are like, oh, Van Dijk has never been dribbled by, oh, this or this or this. It's like, that could all change in an instant. Just because you have that doesn't mean it's going to happen all the time. So I feel USA will get a win, a slight win, like a very tense battle, but they will get that win.
Okay. All right. Next
what about you? You didn't say yours.
Well, I think a hopeful wishing. I want the USA to win, but I think this Netherlands team is just gonna prove too much for this US team. We said
we also gotta say that this is the second youngest team, right?
Yeah.
In the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is really great that they're facing off against the Netherlands, a great team, for the next World Cup, and they're going to be better off,
Yeah,
regardless of the result.
yeah. All right. We're gonna we're gonna skip a match. We'll get back to it because I think that's gonna be one sided. I hope you can guess which one that one's gonna be. We're gonna go France versus Poland. Um, France have been, other than the Tunisia game, which we can call it as just like,
Mishap.
a mishap, have been absolutely smashing it. Mbappe has been in form. Dembele has been crucial. Griezmann has been playing some of the best football uh, that I've seen him with this season.
Seems like he only turned up with France.
Yeah, and last minute winners with Atletico de Madrid. Um, Giroud, who's been has been really smashing it, showing it why he's up there with Thierry Henry as the top goal scorer for France. Um,
Yeah, put some respect.
the defense have been phenomenal, um, and Hugo Lloris hasn't done much of this tournament, and when he's had to be called up, he has done it pretty well. So against this Polish team that it feels like it's Lewandowski and co, and what Lewandowski can do for them. Um, uh, Jordan, what are your things of the matchup?
When I looked at Poland, their last game, you saw talents on the wings and the center attacking mid, the right mid. You see the talents there. They do have a good defense. They have Matty Cash. They have Glick. They have that other center back. I don't know their names. They're hard to say names. But the goalkeeper Chesney always steps up in big games, and he had 9 saves that game against Argentina. So it's not to say that he takes care of the shots, and I think they could be a good game against Poland. Against France, Poland could be a good game, but I still see France edging out a win here. Although Poland is a great team, but France, like their quality all over. They have their squad rotation was even good enough that they barely lost 1-0 to Tunisia. So like it's France. I think it's gonna be a one-sided thing.
Junior?
The same. I feel like Poland hasn't done enough. I feel like their best chance was against Mexico, oddly enough, because they were going back and forth. And I don't think France is going to give them that much of opportunity. I think France is going to control the ball, 60% of the match, like they have been doing, especially with their starting 11. I just don't see Poland giving much of a fight. They're lucky they made it this far.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, totally agree with what you guys are saying. I just think this France is gonna be a little
But
tougher,
also,
a little tougher opponent for them. But I just think that France is gonna be able to handle what Poland has to offer.
I'll just say Poland wins for my girlfriend. Leave it at that.
I don't think that's how it works.
Then me and you, Calvin, let's both say Poland's gonna get demolished. 7-0.
Fuck. Giroud, five goals from Giroud.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about Giroud? That he got all those goals when he joined Arsenal, like already like at 23 or 24. So he was like already behind in age from Benzema, and I don't think people know this, but the reason he got a bunch of those goals was because Benzema got suspended.
Yeah. Oh,
So maybe
Whose fault
Benzema,
was
maybe
whose fault
maybe
was that?
Benzema, maybe Giroud isn't a go kart Benzema. Maybe you're an idiot. Maybe think about that.
Yeah, were you trying to blackmail your teammate, guy?
All right, the next matchup, England versus Senegal. Um,
This is the most interesting of the second most, I think, the Netherlands, the USA. But this was going to have the most goals out of, like, I mean, as in, it might be a 3-2,
yeah,
something like that. I feel like Senegal is all out. They're really one of those teams that actually showed up, and they showed why they're actually the AFCON champions.
yeah, yeah. England,
great to see.
that I have conceded just 2 goals, and that was against Iran. Um, haven't conceded since going against USA, which they should have, but they held a clean sheet. And Senegal that has been proving what collectively they're able to do. You know, they might not have Sadio Mane leading the line for them, but collectively they are still a great team defensively as well. Koulibaly and Diallo and Mendy just holding up the line, and they have the wingers. I mean, their fullbacks, Sabali and Balotore, who are just very speedy and can come back to help their defense out when they're getting counterattacked. And they have that midfielder that's very experienced in Koyate, Mendy, and Igueye, um, ex PSG player. But they have an Ismail Assar, Diata,
Yeah,
Dieng, you know, very, very experienced and forward and fast players. And they have come up with some of these English players, you know, from their time playing in the Premier League. So they'll know some of their abilities and what they can do to them and how to play against them. Um,
Yeah, Mendy has basically taken shots from all of them. He's a Chelsea goalkeeper. He's seen them before.
Pretty much, yeah. And Koulibaly now playing at Chelsea, so he'll know some of them as well. Um, I'm gonna go with the first World Cup surprise here, and I think Senegal gets the better of this English side. I
I was
think
gonna about to say the same thing as you.
I think I think I think England will somewhat underestimate what the Senegal can do to them, and they'll be able to they'll get a surprise from this group from this round.
But I feel like it all comes down to Gareth Southgate. What is the team that goes out there? So if it's strong side, I feel like Harry Kane cannot be in this tournament.
Yeah.
However important Harry Kane has been to the team before,
Jeez.
that is not him. Coleman has the second half. I think that would be better for Harry Kane to get that little confidence and to also get that. Because sometimes as a player, if you're always starting, you kind of just like, oh, what if I don't score? I'm still gonna start.
Yeah,
What does it matter? Not really kind of giving that all, even though like some players won't admit it. But if there's that comfortability, so if he's comfortable, you got to make him uncomfortable. Hey, like,
Yeah.
hey, this guy Marcus Rashford, he's younger. He's been scoring.
yeah,
He's doing what I ask. That's why you're not on the team sheet. I feel like that'll be like, hey, well, I'm the top scorer of England. You know, that's really gonna me as a competitor that would be drive me to try to do better because he
Yeah.
hasn't been just that.
yeah. Jordan.
I think you guys are both dumb for picking Senegal in this. I think England wins it easily because I think Southgate has been saying it, but they've never seen anybody. They never been like, oh, well, let's play down at this team. I think the only team that they did that to was Iran, and they ended up scoring 2 goals.
Iran.
And I think that picked them up. Whatever. I think that picked them up from that game. I think they underestimated, and I think they cost them those 2 goals. And I think Gareth Southgate used that as a coaching tool. Like people say, use that as a coaching. Oh, you see what happens when you underestimate? And then you guys gotta listen to me because if you guys underestimate the next team, what's gonna happen there? And I think they know Senegal is a champion. They've seen them. They've seen Mendy, Koulibaly, other players from Senegal that have passed through the Premier League. They know they have quality there, and I think England's just gonna handle this game, especially now that they're maybe playing Foden. I think this is gonna be a walk in the park for England.
I
But
don't.
yeah,
I don't. I don't think.
yeah, I agree. But like I said, it's all gonna depend on that England team. Because if they're
Well,
not
yeah,
ready
that's
to
what
go
I'm saying.
and
I'm saying if England play out their
England's
best
gonna
with Gareth Southgate,
let's put it
this
that
team's
way.
gonna beat Senegal.
Well,
I don't think
if any
Senegal's.
team plays at their best, they could get a result.
Yeah, but I think even Senegal playing at their absolute best, there's still missing Sadio Mane. And people forget, but the goals that they scored against Qatar, one of them was a mistake of the defender. So, like, they picked up down that mistake, but they
They
didn't really
got
have that
Harry
much chances
Maguire.
after
They
that.
had Harry Maguire playing. You don't think he's gonna make a
Yeah, he
couple
played his
mistakes?
best game against USA, though. Let's remember that. And he still have a clean sheet against in that game and the next game.
But
So,
where did that go? Oh, never mind. Yeah. Thinking about
The goals came from playing Iran. So you see that their team is playing more together, even with Jordan Henderson coming off the bench. I think he even though he's dropping him to the bench, I think he handled it well with coming in and still being a reliable captain, unofficial captain. And I think Harry Kane, although he isn't scoring, like you said, he still is providing assists. He's still making the defense uncomfortable, opening the spaces for the wingers. And I think that's a big deal. So that's why I'm picking England. Although I don't like England, I think they're jerks. They won one World Cup, and they think that they invented football. Like, you might have invented it, but everybody took you over. Like that.
Also saying on that World Cup, that was shouldn't have won, and that ball never crossed the line. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, but we can't change that.
I still haven't forgiven them for the Boston Massacre.
Still stupid.
Yeah, also that.
I never forgot. 1776. I never forgot.
All right. On to our last matchup, the Argentina versus Australia game. I think I can confidently say that we're all going against Argentina beating this Australian team. Although I wonder if there could be a surprise in this team.
No, I don't think so.
It would be very shocking, but I just
They're
think
gonna give a fight for sure. As Australia has surprised me how much they rally behind trying to get make something out of this team. But I just think Argentina, like how strong they are, or how good they play. Especially like they found their formation, like you said. Like most teams are finding what's their 11. See who's in rhythm, who's actually gonna give you their all.
Yeah.
I mean, Enzo Fernandez, revelation for
Argentina.
Yeah.
Linked
So if
with,
he's
Benfica, right?
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Linked with the move to Real Madrid. Real Madrid moving
Yeah,
away from
I saw that
Bellingham.
too, dude. That's crazy. If they get him, that's the end.
Let me see. You have an Argentine in that team that's pro Barca. What do you think he's gonna tell him?
Well, the best Argentine that ever played for Real Madrid was Fernando Gago, so don't forget that.
Who?
I'm gonna go off topic right here and talk about Enzo Fernandez a bit. Do you feel he's a Barcelona type player?
Yeah.
You do?
Just give us an example.
He plays with the ball. I mean, not a traditional, but I could see them playing in the Barcelona lineup, especially if Sergio Busquets is gonna leave. He will at the end of the year. You have playing Frankie De Jong back there with Pedri, and then I think he could fill up that role.
Yeah.
He plays for Benfica, right?
Yeah, he does.
And then having Gavi up front, as he seems like that's where he wants to be, a winger, kind of a winger striker that they play him as. I think that would
Benfica have very strong links to Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'd rather him go anywhere but Real Madrid. Shit, go to Espanyol for all I care.
Well, Benfica have a good relationship with Real Madrid too. That's where we got Di Maria from.
Yeah, but they have João Felix, the goalkeeper. What's his name? The goalkeeper from Atletico Madrid. All black. They've been getting players like more recent than Real Madrid, but you never know because Rui Costa, the genius that he is, he could do that any transfer.
Okay, so I mean, do I have to ask everybody to pick in Argentina?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. But I wanted to say something about Australia, that there is something about having a Cinderella story that even going against the biggest team, you've seen it before in other sports, especially in the U.S. sports, where a team that's a Cinderella shocks everybody. And I think that's a story that happens not that much in soccer, but it's never a thing that's a guarantee that Argentina is just going to walk in there and win it. It's going to be a tough battle, and I think Argentina, like Junior said, I think this third game against Poland, although they just won 2-0. I think this gave them a lot of confidence and propels them to be prepared for Australia. And Australia's coming off a tough battle of a 1-0 win. So I think there's going to be a very different energy for both teams. One team barely scraped by, barely scrapping by, and another team that this is it, this is us. So it's going to be an interesting fight there. And I think that's probably going to be the game to watch out of all these games.
Well, like you said as well, like the Julian Alvarez strike, that's going to give you some confidence. And I think he will be starting next game. I just think this Argentina team is, even defensively, Acuna has been great. Molina has been great. There's just, this team is just, like, they haven't, like I said, they haven't faced something that you could actually measure how good they can be. But it's pretty impressive from them.
I just remembered something. Tagliafico came off the bench and played one of his best games. It was crazy.
I think I'm personally, I think he should be starting, but like the way Acuna has been playing is, it's good enough. But Tagliafico to me should be starter just because of how much he could carry the ball forward more than Acuna. I think he has a better cross than Acuna. Defensively, Acuna could be better, but Tagliafico will give you that back and forth. Yeah. And if you do need some like a more defensively, you need to close down the game. I think Acuna coming in this be better, just planning wise. But they're both good pegs.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, going off topic about just Argentina and Australia, I think we could all agree that the World Cup, people say that it's a waste of time. Why doing it now? I think there's a perfect opportunity for these youngsters that we just mentioned, like Enzo Fernandez, Musiala, Bellingham. It gives these players like a bigger stage to show how good they are, because not that many people watch them in their leagues if they're playing like a 7th ranked league, or they don't play in the top 5 leagues. And I think this gives those players a chance to earn more, or have a potential to go to a bigger stage and show us why they are in the World Cup. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, what's it called? They could probably get a January move if they show enough, or
especially a lot of the U.S. guys, which is a big step up to seeing some players,
especially since the MLS season is over.
And Mexico, I think it was Bayer Leverkusen, where they were like Luis Chavez with the eye emoji. So maybe we see a chance for Luis Chavez. Upcoming. I wouldn't be surprised. He's a standout player.
Yeah.
If anything, that you could say that was great about Mexico is Luis Chavez.
Yeah.
Probably the best player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, that'll be the end of our episode. We got the games, the 2 more group stage matches, and after those games we'll do another episode wrapping up the group stages and seeing the other 4 games that are going to be for the round of 16. And Jordan, you want to add anything before we leave?
The catchphrase?
No, don't say the catchphrase.
Oh, I was gonna say not the catchphrase, but I was gonna say oh frick, I just forgot. Are we gonna do any time wasting?
We've been time wasting.
Yeah, I think this is a long episode, so we won't have time for time wasting.
We'll bring it.
I just wanted to say thanks for listening. That's it.
Junior?
Yeah, thanks for listening again. If there's something that you'd want to go more in depth, or you're laughing.
I wanted to say thanks for listening. I wanted to see if anybody else was going to say that too.
Go
you're
ahead,
like,
Junior.
thanks for listening.
Go ahead, Junior. Finish up. Go ahead, Junior.
I forgot. I think it's beautiful.
It's just fun. It's just fun. That's all I'm going to say. It is fun.
Anything you? All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe so you can get notified when we post another episode and you keep up with the World Cup. We appreciate your support, all 12 watchers.
including
But-
us three.
But yeah, but no, we absolutely love doing this. I think this has been, I don't know about you guys, but this has been really fun for
Yeah.
for all of us. So yeah, that'll be all. Thanks for watching and goodbye.
You must be a real W if you watch all the way
cut
into
it,
it.
cut it, cut it.